Education is the most powerful weapon we can wield to reshape our future. And the world as we know it is changing at a fast pace. And the future isn't coming. It's here. And it demands a new kind of African leader. And today, as Kepler's inaugural Chancellor, I stand in front of you as a strong believer in the unstoppable force of African youth and the urgency of equipping our young people with the tools to reshape our future, because we have no more time. Given that the past always provides a map to the future, we can reflect on Rwanda's journey from ashes to excellence, which teaches us an important lesson. A people who own their narrative control their destiny. And when His Excellency President Kagame says, quote, "We must do what is right for our country and not what pleases outsiders," end quote, he isn't just speaking policy. He's declaring intellectual sovereignty. And that same sovereignty must define African education. We must do what is right for our continent. And this is the power of narrative. You become the story you tell of yourself. And this is why it's important to sidestep outdated hierarchies. A hungry mind in a small university will always outlearn a complacent mind in a marble-walled institution. Our size as Kepler is our strength. Nimble, disruptive, and laser-focused on what works. Kepler proves that the best education belongs to those who do not subscribe to self-limiting narratives. The proof? 95% of our graduates find meaningful employment within 6 months of graduation. I, however, do not believe that Kepler is only here to create employees. We're here to forge architects of African solutions. Leadership isn't about titles. It's about the courage to fix what is broken. And whether it's on your social media handle, in a classroom, on a basketball court, or in a refugee camp, every Kepler student is being trained to ask, if not me, then who? Who must fix our continent, if not you? Who will be our leaders, if not you? Education is power, and power is relational. It's no longer about the country with the strongest GDP or the strongest army. It's about how you wield power and the narrative you attach to it. That is the story of Rwanda, and that is the story of Kepler, a small university that is becoming increasingly powerful by the story it tells and the outcomes it shows. Kepler is not just an institution of learning. It's a training ground for the next generation of ethical and transformational African leaders. Real power flows from education that transforms mindsets. And that's why Kepler intentionally reaches across divides and across the continent. The girl from Kigali and the boy from a refugee camp must both be able to see themselves as Africa's next problem solvers. Our continent needs leaders at all levels. While the dream is Pan-African, the plan is local. And by removing barriers, Kepler can and will disrupt how we look at ourselves and how we look at education, because great minds exist everywhere. Kepler's intentional embrace of students from all walks of life, including refugee communities, indicates the ability of education to catalyze social mobility and economic development. The continent is in dire need of this type of quality and accessible education that equips our youth with critical thinking skills, innovative mindsets, and the ethical foundation necessary to address our continent's multifaceted and cascading challenges. With a mission to prepare young Africans with global competencies and the mindset to resolve local challenges, Kepler College is well positioned to transform the lives of youth across the continent. I'm excited to start engaging in conversations with you, the students, faculty, governments, employers, partners, and other stakeholders on ways to extend this transformational model throughout the continent to ensure that every young African has access to education that doesn't just inform, but transforms. This model works which is why it needs to be scaled so more young Africans can access it. Leadership is not confined to corporate boardrooms or government offices, because leadership is not a position, it's action. So let us build a university whose story is about imparting knowledge, shaping mindsets, and inspiring action. The clock is ticking, so let's get to work.